Hello, hello, hello. How you good people doing out there? I pray all is well. Whenever it is that you come across this message, whether it be in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, or even in your midnight hour, I just came with a thought that I had. So, in service today, the pastor was going over a series, and the series has been about overcoming anxiety. All right, so I just thought about my hair. Like, I'm tripping that I'm wearing my hair natural and coiled up like this, because if I would have been back home in Alabama, there is no way I would have worn my hair like this. But honey, out here I be wearing this natural like I'm one of the flyest females on the street. But anyway, just a little humor. But listen, so yeah, he was talking about overcoming anxiety, letting this be the final time that you allow anxiety to take over you. In that, he was talking about even how some have to deal with insomnia, just because of their anxiety. So anyway, after service, me and a young lady was talking, and she was making mention of how sometimes we feel like we are having a race against time. And I do know that's me a lot of times. It's like at my age, I'm thinking I gotta hurry up and play catch up and things of that nature. Like, there are just some things in life that does not bother me, just because of what I went through, and I chose to have the peace of God. But there are times when I feel like I am racing against time, and I'm just like, Lord, like, come on. Like, I am literally racing against time. So when that came up, it made me think about Joseph. When Joseph was thrown in the pit, he actually was sold off by his brothers. But anyway, he had been given a promise that his brothers and those would bow down to him. So he shared the dream, or shared the news, shared the promise with the brothers, and the brothers were upset. So they decided, you know what? We're not going to let this come to pass. So we're just going to go on and sell you off. And on through his selling, he ended up in a place or whatever. And again, many of us know his place of being in the pit. But in that pit experience, all that he went through, God steady had his hand on him. God had his hand on the life of Joseph, because the promise he made, God meant it was going to come to pass. Regardless of the road that he traveled, it was going to come to pass. Oh, I just came to say, I don't care what you're going through. When you feeling like you got to race against time to get where you think you are supposed to further be in your life, you think, yes, even if there has been some delays, God still has a promise for you. He is going, my word is, he will make good on his word. And I use that word because that's the word of the Lord. He will make good on his word. Even though he ended up in the pit, God strategically moved him in the palace, that he became overseer of the palace. Do you hear me? Child, y'all, it's been things that I just realized I went through 10 years ago. I remember starting over in the hair industry, and I specifically remember hearing a word from God. He said, launch out in the deep. And I'm like, okay, what does that look like? Again, this was one of the times that I really started hearing God and wanting to respond to God in obedience. So when he told me to launch out in the deep, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that looked like, God, but I'm just going to take you at your word. So what happened was, a young lady who I was actually working in the salon with, she was going to close her business down. So at the time that she was going to close her business down, I was going to go and relocate with my best friend, because she had reopened her salon. And so actually she had relaunched her salon. But anyway, so God, showed me that that's where I was supposed to go. And I was just like, okay, God, okay, that's all good. So when I got there, I had to rebuild my clientele. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I went like boom, almost zero customers, to sometimes it just left me how I was able to even make money was by shampooing for her. And so I'm just like, God, are you serious? My son was going to a private school, a city over. Really, it was almost like two little cities over, two little towns over, because the area where her salon was located, it was like way off. And so I would have to travel one way to take my son to school, double back on the expressway in order to get to the salon, leave the salon, go pick him up from school, go all the way over, and then come back, even just to show my diligence or be diligent in what the Lord told me. So y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not hardly making no money. There were times that my friend had to fill my car up. Not that I ever asked. I just was like, God, a lot of times I didn't even open my mouth that I didn't have gas or anything like that, or even have food or whatever the case may be. So I'm just like, Lord, have mercy on me. So as time go on and I'm sitting there. So again, to make a little money, until my clientele started building up, I, with shampoo or whatever, sometimes she would buy me lunch and things of that nature. I just did not. I'm just like, God, whatever you say, I just got to do it. Launch out in the deep was the word of the Lord that he commanded me to do. Even when I didn't know what the deep looked like. But y'all, that thing was so deep. That thing was so deep. But let me tie it in to today. So how it came to where I'm saying it is today is that even though I thought I was sitting and not making any money at the time that I was at my friend's business, just trying to build my clientele back up, I learned so much from her. One thing I learned was how to be able to operate and function under stress. Even when you have a business that was bringing in the number of people that she was servicing, and being able to do it timely, effectively, and also do it with a ministry behind it. Because as I'm seeing her encourage women in her chair, it wasn't just about the crown of the head, it was also dealing with their soul. So as I realized that and just saw her be able to maintain and just have her business function and operate at a level, oh my God, at a top-notch level. So anyway, now in the position that I'm in, it has taught me that even under pressure, I can smile. Even under pressure, I don't have to become anxious. Even under pressure, nobody knows. Nobody knows that I may not be doing or feeling at my best, but I show up knowing that the promise that he made me 10 years ago when he said to launch out in the deep. When I say literally, when I think about it, it's almost 10 years. When he told me to launch out in the deep, and not knowing for a time such as this, I would be using what I sat up under her and learned, even when I felt my business was going nowhere, even when I felt like I didn't have the finances I needed. But guess what? All my needs was always met. He always supplied my needs. Every need that I had was met. It didn't come how I thought it was supposed to come. It didn't look like what it was supposed to look like. But guess what? He supplied every one of my needs. As I told you, I was traveling 2 little towns over, taking my boy to private school. Ask me how that was getting paid for. Private school, because I'm telling you, God worked my life out in ways when I look back. Every word that he told me, he made good on it. I'm still waiting on some promises of God. And in that message today, I don't have to be anxious for nothing. I don't have to feel like I must beat time. He redeems the time. He redeems the time that the cankerworm, the palmer worm, the caterpillar, and even the locust wanted to come and eat up from me. You know what? God gonna make good on his word. Let me encourage you today. Don't be anxious about nothing. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. If he told you, he'll do it. If you read it in his word, and if you believe it by faith, it'll come to pass for you. Joseph went from the pit to the palace, as I've heard many ministers title his life. God has a promise, and he shall make good on it. Listen, I pray that you continue to have a great rest of your day. Again, whenever it is that you come across this message, I pray that you will continue to believe your Father about everything that he has said concerning your life. All right, I pray that you are blessed favorably. I pray that the hand of God is upon your life. I pray that which you are seeking God for shall come to pass. Have a great rest of your day. I look forward to encouraging you again. I ask you, like this message, subscribe to my YouTube page. Definitely share it. Definitely share, because I'm sure there's somebody feeling like they're in a pit position, or the things that they are desiring, God is not even making it happen. But yes, he is. Yes, he is. May the hand of God rest upon you. Have a great rest of your day. Oh yeah, did I say like this message? Did I say subscribe to my YouTube page? Did I also say follow me on my other social media sites? Oh yeah, don't forget now, and share this message. Let's keep each other encouraged, because in this season of our life right now, people are going through some very trying times, you know. But guess what? The hand of God is still mighty and strong. All right, you guys, have a great one. Be blessed. Bye-bye.